There are thousands of indicators you can use in currency trading. Which ones should you be looking at, though? Our guest today is Wayne McDonell. Wayne, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, so if you can whittle these thousands down to maybe some of your favorites, talk about those.
Yeah, it's true. There's many different indicators, and there's thousands of different trading styles as well. But what I try to do at all times is differentiate between the general market forces and shorter-term price action, because we all know the market might be down for the day, but throughout the trading day, price can rise. And so what I try to do is align price action with the overall forces. So it said generally, if the market's falling, I'm looking for opportunities to sell. And if the price is rising, I'm setting up trade plans based on selling that rally. So how do I do that? Well, the easiest indicators to use for such things are moving averages. So I'll use medium and longer term moving averages to say, generally what is happening in the market today. But then I also need to measure price action, because that's what's happening in the moment. So if price is rising in the moment in a bearish market, I'm probably not trading, or if I am, I'm trading very conservatively. But if price starts to fall again, that means moving averages crossing to the downside in a bearish market, then I'm going to be a lot more aggressive and maybe place a larger trade or stay in the trade a little bit longer, because I feel like I'm not fighting the overall market force. I'm going with it. I also like to use oscillators. Oscillators are very important because depending on what mathematical formula they use, they all say the same thing. They show you overbought and oversold conditions. And so what I'll do is I'll use the MACD, the Moving Average Divergence Convergence indicator, and I change the settings a little bit. I slow it down so I get less signals, and that represents overbought and oversold conditions for the market in general. And then, of course, I use stochastics and I speed them up, so I change the settings a little bit. But it just simply shows me overbought and oversold conditions for price. And once again, like how I use moving averages, I'll use the oscillators to help me align short-term price action with medium-term market forces. Along with that, I use things like Fibonacci to enter, or to spot support and resistance in the market. I'll use pivot points, both daily and weekly.
How about on those moving averages? What moving averages do you use and on what time frame?
Okay, so the second part of the question, what time frame? I use the same technical indicators on all time frames. I trade the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 4 minute, believe it or not, the 5, the 15 minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, and a daily. Okay, and I have 18 screens, so I'm watching a lot of different currencies, and I'm watching them on all time frames. But again, all I'm looking at is what direction is the market going, regardless of the time frame. It could be falling on a 4 hour. That just means on a 4 hour chart, I'm bearish. And then I use the shorter term moving averages. Now, the short term moving averages I use are the 5 and the 8, and the medium term averages are a little bit more. They're the 21 and 55 moving averages. And so if the 21 is below the 55, generally speaking, I'm bearish. And so I'm waiting for price to rise a little bit, and then maybe do a 5-8 cross indicating that price is about to fall or starting to fall in the overall falling market. And so that's how I'll do that. And really, the time frame doesn't change a whole lot. I mean, it's simple fractal geometry. But what I'm trying to say is if I see these things occurring on a 4 hour chart, it's just a longer term trade. Maybe it's a position trade or a swing trade, versus if I see it on a 15-minute chart, it's the same type of trade setup, but my goals are a little less modest, or a little more modest, because I think it's probably only going to last a couple of hours versus maybe for the day.
Wayne, thanks for your time.
My pleasure, Tim.